So, how do we cite statutes and court decisions in California legislation? On occasion, bills in the California legislature have to cite a statute or a court decision. And there are actually rules that the Office of Legislative Counsel follows in drafting these types of provisions in bills. So, let me give you some examples of these types of citation. So, how California legislation cites a federal statute is along these lines. An example is statewide voter database means the statewide voter registration database developed in compliance with the requirements of the Federal Help America Vote Act of 2002, 52 U.S. Code Section 20901. So legislative counsel generally places the word federal in front of the name of the federal act being cited to, followed by the actual citation to the federal statute. USC stands for United States Code, and the US Code contains all of the statutes or the federal laws that they have. They're listed by volume number. Remember, in California, we give our codes names like business and professions or evidence. Instead, at the federal level, they're listed by volume number. So in my example, 50 US code, 52 US code, meaning it's in the 52nd volume, and then of course the section like we use in the California codes. How about how we cite California state statutes? An example is working lands has the same meaning as set forth in paragraph 1 of subdivision D of section 9001.5 of the Public Resources Code. So here, legislative counsel cites to the state statute from the specific to the general, with the code being listed last. So in this example, it's section 9001.5 D1. And that's the specific statute that's being cited in this definition. Again, the section is listed first, and then the specific code is provided. And of course, these codes are where the state statutes are found, and they're listed by name as opposed to number at the federal level. How about how we cite in California legislation appellate court decisions? So an example from a California bill is the following. Immigrant community members can be incarcerated by ICE, often for prolonged periods, and with no right to bail, and deported, permanently banishing them from the country. Ang Fung Ho versus White, 259 U.S. 276 in 1922. The Supreme Court has repeatedly acknowledged that for many people, deportation is a more severe penalty than any jail sentence. See, for example, Lee versus U.S. 137, Supreme Court 1958 and 2017, or Padilla versus Kentucky 559 U.S. 356 from 2010. So here, legislative counsel cites to the official reporter of the court decisions, either U.S. or S.CT. Supreme Court, in the examples I just read to you. And those are two of the reporter for United States Supreme Court decisions. And of course, it's followed by the case citation and then the year in which the court decision was published. The first number in the citation is the volume of the official reporter, and the second number is the page number of that volume where the court decision is printed in that reporter. So again, the Office of Legislative Counsel Attorneys follow these guidelines so that there's consistency in the citation to federal statutes, state statutes, and court decisions, hopefully throughout the California codes. As we know, consistency is important for both reading as well as understanding statutes.